Hey guys, it's Blackwing here, and today I just got back from seeing X-Men Days of Future Past, and I gotta say, this movie was incredible. Because it has both two casts from separate movies, the original cast and the first class cast. But just to see that whole connection with two different people, it just blew my mind. So let's get on with the movie, and I may be revealing some spoilers, so please, I suggest you don't watch this video if you didn't see the movie. All right. So let's begin. It takes place. It goes forward into the year 2023, where mutants and humans are being captured by Sentinels. Sentinels are huge robotics that can hunt down mutants, but in this version, they've been hunting down mutants and humans. So the X-Men and Magneto are working together to stop this war with the Sentinels, and basically there hasn't been any luck because every time they try to attack, a lot of them are keep getting killed. So Shadowcat, aka Kitty Pryde, keeps bringing them back to a younger version of themselves. She sends them back like probably like a few days back. Then the people that were fighting the Sentinels are Bishop, Sunspot, Iceman, Blink, and Warpath. And so they're the only ones that are fighting the Sentinels. Iceman, he's been fighting them for a little bit short time, but in the beginning he was fighting them a lot. And Storm, no, Storm, Professor X, and Wolverine and Magneto arrive in China to restore the past. I mean, to fix the past and restore the future. So Shadowcat was able to send Wolverine back into his younger self because Professor X was the original person to do it, but he wasn't able to. So Wolverine was the only person they had. So as Shadowcat teleported him to his younger self, and he appeared in 1973. And turns out this whole plot sense has only one person to blame, Mystique. Can you believe that that woman could be a lot of trouble? So the whole sense that it all evolves around her because it was her fault. She went to assassinate the person who built the Sentinels, Bolivar Trask. She found him in his office. She killed him, and then they captured her, and then they used her skin to upgrade the Sentinels and made the Sentinels adapt to any mutant power that they are being confronted with. They could adapt to its to its strength. Like say a Sentinel's going against Iceman, the Sentinel's gonna turn to heat and from there destroy him. So Wolverine finds the X Mansion. He finds Professor X's younger self and Beast, and he sees the X Mansion totally disassembled. The school's been not struck down, but out of business. Professor X has been walking. He's been using a serum that was able to help him walk and lose his powers. So Wolverine convinces him to fix the past and help get Magneto out of the Pentagon building, and which is way below. They had that building way secure, really secure for him. Like he cannot get out at all. So since he knows the building is highly secure, they find Quicksilver for them to get in and get out quickly. And by the way they developed Quicksilver in this movie, it was amazing. I mean, he talked fast. Of course, he ran fast, and of course, he was quick. So they head to the Pentagon. They Wolverine and Professor X should go to free Logan. I mean Magneto. Quicksilver disguises himself as a security guard. He as he goes to a Magneto's cell, he vibrates the glass that's holding him, and he breaks free. And so Professor X comes face to face with Magneto. Of course, he has a problem with him, punches him. Magneto says, "Good to see you too." And so after they escape the Pentagon building, they head to DC to stop Mystique for assassinating Trask. So, and during the plane flight there, Charles is having his problems with him because he said he abandoned him after the accident. When Magneto says, "You're the one that abandoned us," after what happened in Cuba with the original team, everyone was gone. Azazel, Banshee, and In- Ban. Oh my gosh, Azazel, Banshee, and Angel. You know Angel from First Class, the girl that has like I think fly type wings, insect type wings. Yeah. So. Oh, and before that, Mystique was in some other country trying to rescue some mutants. He was rescuing Havoc from First Class, Toad, Ink, and there was another. He looked like he had a porcupine type body, but she was rescuing those mutants and setting them free. So when they get to DC, they find Mystique was in the conference room that Trask was developing their mutant ability. He's discussing the Sentinel program. So Mystique was trying to kill him, but luckily they got there in time and they were able to stop her. But Magneto just flips off and he really tries to kill her to prevent the future from being a disaster. And that didn't really help at all. And then Logan starts losing his mind and he nearly like almost kills Shadowcat. So he comes back to his senses. Magneto wounded her. She got shot in the back of her leg, and now she's been limping for like the rest of the film. And so Beast tries to stop him, but he gets away. So after that, they head back to the X Mansion. Charles tries. He's giving up on himself, and Wolverine tells him not to give up. And He told him to look into his mind, and Charles actually had a talk with his older self. And that scene, I would say, one was the greatest scenes out of that whole movie. Just to see both. Just imagine talking to your younger self and your future self. That's amazing. So after that, he uses Cerebro to contact Mystique and tell her to stop this, and of course she doesn't listen. Um Magneto finds the Sentinels being shipped off to DC. So he's on the train that's shipping them. He puts the the metal rails of the train track into the Sentinels, so that way he can control them. Because in the beginning, the Sentinels, they had no ounce of metal in them, so that means Magneto wasn't able to control them. Now they're under his control. So they find out that the president is going to be releasing the Sentinels to America in DC. Magneto breaks into I think another where his helmet was, and he heads into a baseball stadium and lifts up the whole stadium by himself. I mean, because remember in First Class he wasn't able to move very huge objects, but now he totally mastered his powers. So they're in DC with the president about to announce about the Sentinels. They're looking everywhere for Mystique so that she doesn't kill Trask again. And then Magneto shows up and then just destroys everything. He's controlling the Sentinels and they're killing everyone. And then back in the future, everyone else is getting killed. The older Magneto got impaled. Bobby got killed again. Sunspot got he got killed. Bobby got incinerated. Bishop, he couldn't contain so much kinetic energy, so he exploded. Storm got stabbed. Almost everyone died. And then in that final moment, Mystique just told Magneto to stop, and then she shot him in the neck, and then Charles stopped Magneto and he just flew off. And then Mystique was about to kill Trask, and then Charles just tells her to stop, and she drops her gun, and then she just leaves. And then everything from the future turns back to normal. And This was my favorite part in the movie. Wolverine wakes up from the past and he's back in the present. You see everyone is back. Rogue is back. Iceman is back. Shadowcat and Colossus are actually teaching. Storms of course is still a teacher. And the biggest craziest thing that was in the movie, Cyclops and Jean are alive. Yes, those two are alive. And as soon as Logan's trying to give Jean a kiss, Scott grabs him like, "What are you doing?" Because remember, in the first X-Men film, Cyclops and Jean were, together. And so he sees Professor X and he asks him, "Well done." And he asks him, "What's the last thing you remember?" He said the last thing he remembered was drowning. And then his younger body is being picked up, and Stryker, the person who gives Wolverine his adamantium skeleton, he says, "I'll deal with him." But it wasn't Stryker. It was Mystique. Again, I tell you, Mystique is a crazy person. So, and then there's a blurb at the end of the credits. In Egypt, the Egyptians are praising someone who is creating a pyramid, and this person that's creating the pyramid, he has like blue type skin, and guess who that person is? It's the powerful mutant Apocalypse. So guess what? Guess we know who's gonna be the main villain in the next X-Men film, Apocalypse. I can't wait. So what do you guys think of X-Men Days of Future Past? Did you think it was good? Do you think it was bad? I truly loved it. It was awesome. It was amazing. I give that movie a 5 out of 5. I totally give that movie a 5 out of 5. It is totally one of the greatest X-Men films I've ever seen. So that's all I got to say. Until then, I am vengeance, I am darkness, I am Blackwing. Stay golden.